Neon lights, neon lights. Hey, dancing with my demons, do the dash, we out of sight. Run it up, secure the bag.
Hello and welcome to the SoulInsights podcast. I'm Chiron and Loxton, joined by
Kyle.
And today's discussion is going to be about new skills.
Yes, and our particular one, which was snowboarding.
Yes.
Yes.
But should we just run with everything first?
Yep, so we're going to get into our usual before, so, just skip to the point in the description if you want to go straight to the main topic.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Okay, so this is all the new music that I've listened to recently. So probably would have been within that week that we last had a chat. Depends on how recent it is, I don't know.
Basically, music within the past sort of...
recent.
Recent releases.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so these are the album, favourite song off the album as well, and the artist. Paolo Nutini, Last Night in the Bittersweet, Through the Echoes, Imagine Dragons, Mercury Acts 1 and 2, One Day, Shine Down, Planet Zero, Clueless and Dramatic, Caesar, Sevis Pacem, Parabellum, Deluxe, Drifting Away, Jack Johnson, Meet the Moonlight, 3am Radio, Cardi B, Kanye West and Lil Durk, Hot Shit, banger, Dermot Kennedy, Dreamer, Youngblood, Don't Feel Like Feeling Sad Today, Eminem and Snoop Dogg, From the D to the LB. See? I thought you were going to yes.
Is that the one I said to you?
Yeah.
Okay, that was my
that was
contribution to this list.
I didn't see anything from Eminem. Pale Waves, Jealousy, Gashi, Gasoline, Cheta, Suicide Boys, Poidras, that's a decent one for the car. Steve Aoki, Kays, I think he says. John Martin, Whole Again, Nicky Romero, Nico X Sway, Easy, DVBBS, Brandon Brunette, Summer Nights, Bad Wolves, The Body, YG Tiger, 21 Savage, BIA, Run.
Out of the, 30 music artists that you've just said, I probably know about 8.
That's all right. I showed you, and then the music recommendation for the SoulInsights Pod playlist, the SI Pod playlist on Spotify, is the one I showed you. YG Tiger, 21 Savage, BIA, Run, because I think that just bangs.
Decent listen. I've listened to it once, and I probably won't again, but...
Yeah, it's cool. It's hip-hop.
Decent anyway, yeah. Good
club
song.
Sort of beat, hip-hop, Savage. I mean, you can tell, just from YG Tiger, 21 Savage, you just know what the lyrics are really going to be like. So, it's just good, decent play. So, there we go. I think Paolo Nutini is an insane album. I mean, that's probably the biggest one. Imagine Dragons is quite good as well. That's, again, a mixture of hip-hop, acoustic, EDM, rock, metal. So, that's quite good. You got Steve Aoki in there, so got to get you prepared, haven't we?
Yeah, for something that will come out in the future. Yeah. So, that's all we need to say at the moment, isn't it? But
so, there we go. So, do you want to do your
so, TV recommendation. What did we do last week? I can't even remember.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, so it was TV again, but it'll be TV for a few times because there's some decent shows at the moment. So, I'll have to say, because it's the most recent one to actually finish, which is Stranger Things. So obviously Stranger Things 4. Have you watched any of them?
No. I know that song is obviously being played everywhere.
Running Up the Hill, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no copyright, thank you. Don't start singing it.
Yeah, it plays everywhere. But
It's blown up, that song, but it is actually a decent song in all fairness. Right. But the entire TV show is just...
Banger.
It's a madness, really. Right. Yeah, all seasons. I don't know if you'd say which one's the best. I can't really remember. I haven't watched it. I've only watched them through once, and that was whenever they came out. So it's not like I've recently seen them. But season 4 is decent. Obviously, it's just finished.
You just told me the runtime of the last episode as well. It just sounds like a lifetime.
Yeah. So the last season, the episodes were sort of 60 to 90 minutes.
Which is long.
The last 2 episodes, one of them was an hour and a half, and the other one was 2.5 hours. So the finale of season 4 is 2.5 hours. But it'll be a bit strange because it's like you're not watching a film. It doesn't feel like you're watching a film, so that'll go quicker than it'll feel like you're watching less than a film, if that makes sense.
I saw on TikTok there was this one guy was going through the makeup of one of the monsters on it. I think he was just sat in the chair for ages. It's quite cool that he's not CGI'd then. He's just actually
the dude. So one of the people in there obviously won't specify anything, but one of them it took hours and hours for 3 makeup artists to do this one person's makeup stuff because it's so much detail. There's so much to it. And everything about it, like how it looks visually, is amazing.
Do you reckon there'll be a new season after this? Did you say?
I think there is. Yeah, I say I think. Let's just pretend that I've finished it, 'cause I haven't.
Yeah.
But even so, it's so good.
But the way how that song's just gone in the charts is obviously a popular series, isn't it?
It is. So there's people saying it's between that and The Boys at the moment, which The Boys is a new episodes every Friday as well. At the moment, I think it finishes quite soon. But I'd probably say The Boys is better.
Oh, right.
But obviously that's not finished yet, so that's why I'm not recommending it, rather. But if The Boys was on Netflix, I think it would be a bigger one. I'll cause controversy there to anybody who likes Stranger Things, but I think
I've never watched
The
both of them,
Boys
so.
is an absolute banger. It's so good.
I'll have to try and watch them, isn't it?
But that'll be on another episode anyway, because I know I'm going to recommend that at some point.
So Stranger Things,
yeah, definitely worth watching if you have been living under a rock and you haven't watched it already, like this one over here. I won't say anything much about it, but there's lit characters, there's lit action, lit stuff happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
gory.
It grips you quite well.
Violent?
It can be quite violent.
That's cool.
I'll say not as violent as The Boys.
Yeah, one thing you said on that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's not as bad as people make it out to be.
Oh, okay.
And that's my sense of like gore is just nothing compared to other people.
Yeah, well, that's
anyway,
sort of thing. We just laugh at that.
Yeah, that's going on to another whole thing. So let's move on to the word of the book.
Yeah, so this is the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows by John Koenig, and they are a made-up word, isn't it? So pre-warning, do not use them. And you went with chapter 3, which is montage of attractions, finding shelter in the presence of others, and the word is midding. Midding.
Okay, yeah, good.
Ready? The tranquil pleasure of being near a gathering but not quite in it, hovering on the perimeter of a campfire, talking quietly outside a party, resting your eyes in the back seats of a car, listening to friends chatting up front, feeling blissfully invisible yet still fully included, safe in the knowledge that everyone is together and everyone is okay, with all the thrill of being there without the burden of having to be.
That literally gives me NPC vibes.
I feel like I could relate to that word quite well.
You're just there. You're just kind of there
Sleep
in somebody
mode.
else's story.
I mean, do not disturb mode.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's pretty cool. Like if you had like a trip to the beach or something, and you've like just had like a surf session or something, and they're driving back, they're having banter in the front seat, but you're quite knackered. But you know, like they're just enjoying themselves. You don't necessarily have to be involved in the convo, but you're part of the group that is sort of thing. It's like a festival if you go with like a group, isn't it? You could just pass out on the floor.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And they know where you are, sort of thing. Yeah. But you don't have to really worry about them because you know where they are. And I think it's quite cool. Like you just know you're in good company, and your mates are pretty. Like you just know each other quite well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
So I get that. It's like the satisfaction of just going, yeah, you know what, I'm quite chill. So yeah, would you get that? Would you do your take on it? Would you really?
It's the same. Yeah. It's like you're
NPC.
just in the background of somebody else's kind of like story. In a sense, like
you can be.
You don't have to be the main part of.
But someone else's story is someone that you know, though. It's not just a random.
Yeah, but you're just like on the sidelines kind of thing, isn't that? So
yeah,
but
there we go. Midding.
Cool. Right.
Main topic.
So,
what should we do? Run through the course that we
do? We'll do first the learning a new skill. So obviously we thought let's learn something, and snowboarding's a pretty cool one because you can go to like festivals. Obviously you can just snowboard and ski on holidays.
Yeah.
You can it's a good thing to be able to do, really, isn't it? Like a good fun thing to go and do.
It's cool to, I think that what we said is learn it before going out there as well, because you can obviously do lessons at the resort, but it's quite good to have like some sort of knowledge or strength in knowing what to do before going out there.
If you're doing something
you're not wasting
that's
holiday
like,
time.
Yeah, exactly. So in this case, you're going on a holiday and you want to do something. So this could be like diving as well, like another thing that we would look into. It's nice to be able to know what you're doing before you go. So if you can learn, say, at home like we did, even if it's on like different, because we did it on a dry slope instead of snow.
Yeah.
But at least then you get out there and you have an idea, so you can kind of get the equipment and go. You don't have to faff about with like, oh, this is how you do it, or maybe have lessons and that kind of thing. So the whole point of learning something before you go and properly do it, like properly try and put it into practice, it make it so much more fun.
Yeah.
And
especially when
just
you
a lot
get
better in
used to it.
general.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right, if we do a quick run through of what exactly it was that we learnt. So anybody looking to do snowboarding courses or that wants to learn in the future, or maybe just go out and do it, the kind of things that you kind of need to know. So this is what we had on our course. It might not necessarily be the same for everybody, but it could be similar at least. I think it's the fundamental basics of learning to snowboard, isn't it? So it might just be slightly different layout or something like that. But ours was, so we had 4 stars. So obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 getting more advanced as it goes up.
We had your little try first, so just to see if
And
you're
a
actually
try,
any good on anything.
You stand on the snowboard, go down a tiny little hill, and just see if it's for you, and really.
Yeah, see if you've got some sort of balance to you already, because some people will probably still fall over on that. I mean, that's just like a little slope. You learn how to walk with the board, because obviously snowboard, you're attached to it, so you learn how to crab walk. No, like plug walk, isn't it? And they you learn how to do that, and then you go down a little slope just to see like if you can actually kind of go down anyway.
Yeah.
And then obviously you go onto your stars if you like it, isn't it? Which is what we did. So
1 star for us. You basically go down the hill. You've got heel, so you don't go straight line send yourself because you'd probably die. You've got heel edge and toe edge. So you basically learn how to control yourself going either facing directly down, so with your board, would it be parallel or?
You have one, so you go down your heels where you
go down staring straight down the hill. So you are literally you're going on your heels, going down the hill.
Not in a line, isn't it?
You've got another one. Yeah, you've not got it in a line going down the hill.
Yeah.
And then you've got toe edge where you're facing up the hill. And you've got obviously learn to control yourself and stop yourself on your toes.
So that's learning more about posture on the board as well. Yeah. So that's like the heels. There's a certain posture that you follow, isn't it? Where we said you basically sit on a toilet sort of thing, posture.
In a way, yeah.
And then you go on your toes down where you're facing up the hill, isn't it? You stick your waist out.
Well, yeah, sticking your belly out. Imagine you've eaten like a big Christmas dinner or something.
Yeah, again, that's all balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
And shifting weight in places that you need.
Yeah. So that's the main first thing that you do. And then you've got moving side to side. So being able to kind of like control your direction. It's direction. So control your direction a little bit. So you kind of, essentially turn your shoulders and reach out. And you kind of veer off either to the right or left, whichever way you turn and lean. Yeah. And just make sure obviously you can control yourself on the board with a bit of movement as well.
Yeah, you go like diagonally and then you go back into like your stance, isn't it? To show that you can stop and you're in control sort of thing, and then go back the other way.
2 star is probably the biggest jump, isn't it? From 1 to 2 is the most mad, because we've been on like a little slope where you're learning, where you're out of the way. You end up on the big slope with everybody and all these experienced people that are flying down, and then you've got like the tramp skiers at the bottom as well that don't know what they're doing, so you've got to try and stay out their way.
South Park skiers.
Right, if you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, then you're gonna have a bad time.
You're seeing those at the bottom, and then you see like the absolute badasses at the top. So it's a little bit daunting to begin with, because you're kind of still in new territory yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. So the main things on that are obviously figuring out the hill, because it's different steepnesses, I suppose. Is that a word? It is the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows.
Steepnesses.
Yes, exactly. I've just made up a word. Steepnesses. The different inclines as you're going down the hill. So like sometimes it's really steep and then it'll go a bit flatter, and then it'll go not so flat and like that kind of thing. So you get used to the bigger hill. And the lift, which we'll obviously go on to after we've gone through all the stages about how fun that is. But using the lift to obviously be able to get up the hill, and the falling leaf technique, which is a bit dodgy when you start it, I suppose, isn't it? Because it's quite a big jump.
Yeah.
You're more along the lines of, instead of being on your heels or toes and kind of angling yourself sideways, you're going a lot straighter. So you're, instead of turning, say, 20 degrees to be able to go off to the right or left, you're turning like sort of 80, between 80 and 90. So you are pretty much going straight.
In the line, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much getting around to that straight point and then turning back onto whichever edge you were on.
It says it's, yeah, should I say what the definition?
Yeah.
Fallen leaf is obviously one of the main probably things I'd say. Fallen leaf is an essential part of snowboarding progression. The technique you are about to learn will teach you how to steer your snowboard around the mountain on one edge at a time. If you don't master this skill, you'll not be able to ride the steeper runs on the mountain. So technically at this point, you can go down a slope. You just will be going down at a weird like angle sort of thing.
You'll be going down without a clue, and you'll probably end up on your ass, won't you? So
well, you're going down real slow because you're just learning how to like start and stop sort of thing, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
So you can go down safely like at that start. It's just this is when you start just having a bit more fun with like pressure control and stuff and steering.
Well, yeah, so steering is the main word there, really. You're actually navigating yourself around a bit more, aren't you?
Yeah. That's when you start weaving in and out of the little pizza skiers at the bottom.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
3-star, it can be a bit awkward, really, can't it? With the new thing that you learn, which is turning, so from heel to toe or toe to heel. You do what you've been doing. You go down the hill on your heels, say, doing your fallen leaf down the hill, and then for us it was you get to the bottom of the hill where it flattens out. You go straight onto obviously your lead foot from your heels, and then you turn onto your toes. Whereas before, obviously, you've gone heels to fallen leaf, back onto heels, but now you're going back onto your toes.
Turn,
and obviously vice versa. I don't think it was as bad as we were expecting. We didn't fall over. I didn't fall over nearly as much as I was expecting.
I felt like more when you turn to go into the line, you let it go into the line a little bit to go back into the other one. You don't just go into one full motion, do you? You don't just go from heels straight into your toes. There's one turn. You've got to go straight, then do it.
The last thing you want to do is rush it, because then you end up on your ass.
Board clips on the floor, isn't it? Especially the dry slope. Like the board clips, and then you just obviously ping it. Then it's like in Simpsons when Bart hits like a stone or something.
Yeah, you just
I'm going to do Simpsons references every time.
And then 4-star for us was the entire slope. So we'd only been going up like halfway, so the top of the slope for us was kind of a bit more gradual, but you have to turn a bit more, and then obviously
up there as well.
You drop down onto the actual
main slope.
Like yes, you say main slope, like the main like straighter part of it. Like you drop down onto it, and then you go down the bit as normal. But it's about applying obviously all you've learned on the actual slope. So going from heel to toe and toe to heel on the steeper bits.
And if you've gone to like a ski resort, I guess 1-star, 2-star, 3-star that we done would be a green slope, which is the main just one slope going down. And then 4-star when you start going round stuff and seeing other things, that's more blue line sort of territory.
Yeah,
I would say. So yeah, I guess it gets you to like blue line standard. Our course did. So I reckon any other course, if you're thinking about doing it, probably gets you to at least like you'll be good on the green. I mean, that's like you wouldn't need to touch that if you went going abroad sort of thing. You just go straight on the balloon, just go on the chairlift and start backhanding.
Right, so let's quickly just do how can you apply this to like other things, and then we'll go on to some little shits and giggles about what actually happened to us sort of thing. So obviously when we started, well, it kind of includes into the shits and giggles. It was quite difficult. Like the first time you go, you can't really get the hang of it. You're like, I can't do this. I'm never going to be able to do this. So you literally just have to stick with whatever you're doing. Like if you're trying something new, even if cooking or bloody some sort of sport, or I don't know, writing a book or whatever, writing music, over here. That if you're stuck in a point, you're not necessarily going to be stuck forever. You just need to say keep at it. And just keep on trying, because eventually it will come to you. Or maybe even take a break from stuff, clear your heads, and then come back to it with a fresh mind.
We have that initial vision, because I remember saying it to you when you first like did the 1-star. We're looking at people, isn't it, saying it'd be crazy to think that you're just going to be doing that soon. Like just have the optimism about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So just give it a go, and like you're not really going to injure yourself that much. Like even with the starting ones, isn't it? Just throw yourself into it.
Oh, I don't know. I screwed myself quite a lot. But
you just have that initial drive about wanting to achieve it, and you'll eventually learn what you're doing. I mean, the instructor takes you step by step, really, isn't it, if needs be?
We got a bit ahead of ourselves to start with when we booked the 1-star for the Saturday and the 2-star for the Sunday, not realising that we'd be
You had to pass
shit at it, and that we'd be pretty shit at it. So we did the 1-star, and we were like, yeah, okay, we're going to need to do this again, aren't we? So we had to cancel the 2-star for the next day and book ourselves back onto the 1-star. But it did take us, we did each of them
About 2 attempts, wasn't it?
About 2 attempts. It took 2 attempts on 1, 2, and 3
It feels
at
quite
least.
nice because it's like with there that you could pick up where you left off, sort of thing, wasn't it? So I always remember
exactly.
like the first lesson, they would tell you the new thing, you would learn it, and then obviously your next lesson you just pick up from where you left off. Because me and you normally booked on quite straight after our last lesson.
Yeah. The only exception, obviously, was the 4-star where we did it first time, but I don't know if that's just because they wanted to get rid of us.
Yeah, probably.
Because we ended up on our asses quite a lot. But
We were
saying
just
that,
trying new stuff though, wasn't it? We were trying like flip it and stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
about.
trying a bit more advanced and cocking about a bit.
Yeah.
So
It was fun though. Yeah, it was a fun experience.
definitely.
Like you said, we're gonna have to go to the mountains and try it out, isn't it? So there'll be a couple like festivals. I think there was Tomorrowland Winter.
Yeah.
And Snowbox or Snowbombing, I reckon would be
Rise.
or Rise. Yeah, Rise is December, so one of
It's
those.
probably a bit soon for us, Rise, and that.
Maybe this year, I'm not sure, but we'll try and we'll definitely go next season.
We'll do something sometime,
in Europe,
or even
yeah.
if you just go to a ski holiday, like you just have to go for like 4 days and just go somewhere like Austria or whatever.
Yeah, definitely got to put them to the test, sort of thing.
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
It?
Yeah,
when we did Snowbox. Honestly, that was the first ever time I went on a snowboard, and oh my god, I was dreadful.
Fucking headphones, that.
Yeah, I just fell over like most of the time because you didn't know how to stop, so you just fell on your ass. So now it's quite nice to know actually.
Yeah.
It's not actually too
bad.
bad.
What was your worst experience? I already know what you're going to say here. Your worst experience for this whole snowboarding thing?
The ski lift. I mean, hence the title, ski lift.
Bear in mind,
snowboarding lift, is it?
So there's 2 lifts. One of them was basically impossible for snowboarders to use unless you knew exactly what you were doing. The other one was made slightly more for snowboarders because it had more of a bend in it to go around your leg. But Chiron, you could not get it.
No, that was close to breaking point now.
It took the entire lesson for you to do it, and even then you were still a bit ropey, weren't you?
I think it was the initial, like, you not knowing what the whiplash would be like, sort of thing, because you're sat on it and it goes up and you hear the noise and it'll ping you up, sort of thing. So you got to know that.
Yeah.
I'd always twist my foot just because of previous other things, I'd imagine, isn't it? So when you twist your foot, your board twists with you. So I don't know. Initially, it just kept falling over and just couldn't.
Yeah,
get
it just seemed strange that you were doing it for about an hour and a half and you could not get it.
But the instructor didn't even know
though. No, exactly.
So So the instructor was just like, "You're doing something that I don't even know what you're doing." So I was like, "Well, that's good, isn't it? That's what you do the lesson, isn't it?" But eventually got there. I mean, it kind of pissed me off, but I'll stick to the chairlifts, to be fair.
1-star annoyed me the most because I felt like I just could not do it. Even the first time we did 2-star, I felt like, oh my god, I'm way out of this. But then the second time we did it, I was loving it. Like, you're just flying down the hill. Like, it's something just suddenly clicks in your brain. You're like, oh my god, it's so easy.
Perseverance, to be honest. Because it's like me and you both probably had a moment where you're just like, you know what, should we just fuck this off, sort of thing.
Definitely, yeah. But that whole thing of learning a new skill, you need to keep at it. As you say, perseverance, Don't just give up because you think you can't do it. Keep going. I mean, you might get to a point where if you've been trying the exact same thing for like 3 years, and there's something that other people pick up in like a day, then maybe you need to reconsider.
That's comparison as well, though, isn't it? You need to compare yourself to people. But
if you like doing it, even if you're terrible at it, who cares?
Yeah, if you're just enjoying yourself.
Exactly,
I think we enjoyed ourselves every lesson, wasn't it? I mean, the lift was frustrating, but it was still fun, though.
Yeah, you look like you wanted to bloody snap the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I hated it. Well, no, it's more like frustrated with myself, though, if anything, isn't it? Because you just feel like, how can I not get it right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it was, it was a good experience. So I said I would recommend anyone. I mean, we should try to give skiing a go, because I imagine that's probably a bit different.
Yeah, so the worst part about skiing, I think it's quite easy to learn, as you said. It's easy to learn but hard to master, whereas snowboarding is hard to learn but easy to master.
I think so. That's what I got told.
Master.
Yeah.
It does make sense, because I've been skiing once and it felt quite easy. Like, you can stay stable because obviously you're on both feet spread apart, like shoulder width, so you can stabilize yourself quite well. Stopping was fairly simple. Jumping as well, because we did that, even though it was only it would have been like a taster session that I did on it was proper indoor slope, so actual snow stuff.
Let's try one of them as well, I'd imagine.
That'd be good fun. But the worst thing about skiing is the boots, because it bends your knees forward. So your knees are constantly bent, and your shin compared to your foot, the bend in your ankle, is like extremely awkward, I feel, and with bad ankles and knees anyway, it doesn't do me very good.
It must be mad because remember in Snowbox when there was like parties in the forest, you're partying in those boots.
I think it's a bit different with the boots when you're not clipped in.
Is it?
They'll still be like pushing your shins forward. That's the easiest way for me to explain that thing.
Just keep drinking, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah,
Numb the
exactly.
pain.
Exactly.
Numb
just forget about it. Just make yourself think you're barefoot.
One of the guys I met at the festival, he had boots where he could go on skis, but they looked like snowboard boots. So they were like a mixture of both. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Ski boots, if I'm wrong, sorry, but
yeah, we're not experts in this.
Ski boots are like more solid, like they're more plasticky, whereas snowboarding boots were more like fabricy, like actual boots, weren't they?
You've got to have like a bottom,
move your feet a bit more, a bit.
You've got those like heel things that they clip the ski on.
It's like wearing the cycling shoes where you've got to clip them into your pedals. It's kind of like that sense of thing, like. Because
the snowboard boots you just you strap onto your toe, isn't it, and then you sit into the actual shin thing, isn't it?
So you have to use. Yeah, and then obviously ski ones, you flick your toe into the ski and then you have to push your heel down.
I don't know. I've never done them. So.
No, okay. Yeah, extremely awkward.
Well, I'll give it a go.
There was some of the instructors were funny, weren't they?
Yeah, we had good.
There's such a different range. Like you get really serious, really laid back. Really,
you had one where you
really
completely
high.
stacked it, isn't it? And there was one where it's like, oh, okay, that's fine, isn't it?
I was going down the hill. I don't know what happened the first time. I kind of screwed it, and I fell, and I broke my finger. Actually,
did you?
Yeah, that finger there. It's still messed up. I think it's still broken because I can't move it properly.
Good.
It hurts if I put pressure on it. And I messed up my knee as well at that point. But then, of course, initial reaction, I just felt my knee. I didn't feel my hand until we finished, actually. But I got back up, started going down, and about 5 seconds later, I was going down facing up the hill, so going down backwards, and I went straight backwards. And obviously, you're falling backwards down a hill, so you're falling even further. And oh my God.
Yeah.
That's not even the worst, though. The worst was on the 4-star. I kept falling over. Like, we'd already passed it. The dude had said, so we started messing around a bit. And I was falling over every time, but it was doing, like, the simple stuff still. As soon as we went to the top of the hill on the slightly slower bits, that was it. I was gone.
Yeah.
But we passed, what, like 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks? Say 3 weeks ago.
We'll have to go up again soon.
I'm still aching after 3 weeks. My neck, honestly, it feels like I've broken something in my back.
You just have to learn how to fall with like finesse, mate.
Fall with dignity.
Just go like a little cannonball, start rolling.
Yeah, exactly. But
I didn't ever feel like
everything up.
It might be down how you fall over, because whenever I fell, I didn't feel like I slammed the floor. You kind of fall with the hill, whereas like if you fell and then slammed, you get like the compression sort of injury, don't you?
So that's where my neck went. I remember falling backwards.
Yeah.
My back hit the floor, and I must have been holding my head forward.
Yeah.
And I remember back of my head, obviously wear helmets, but
and you're attached to the snowboard,
head,
aren't you? So it's awkward with your legs anyway, because your board's coming with you.
But back of my head just slamming against the floor, because I felt my entire helmet, even though you've got them on really tight, like fly backwards. I whipped my hair back.
Oh, good.
So that's where I think I've messed up, either my neck or my back a bit. But yeah, honestly. But it's really fun. Like, I remember on the last lesson, it's the second time we did the 3-star. You've got quite a lot of other people at times, like below the hill, especially when people are learning. And to start with, you're really cautious about it. Like, oh my God, there's somebody there. I'm going to stop myself. But you get the hang of it. And this was me on the second 3-star. You basically slalom in and out of everybody. Like when you do the skiing, what's it called? Where you're going down the big hill and you've got to go in between like the flags.
Oh, slalom.
Is that literally what it's called? The word I just used as well.
Yeah, I think it's slalom run, isn't it?
So you're going down the hill really fast and they've got to go through the little flags. But it's basically like doing that. The people are the flags and I've just got to get in between the people. Like, you're flying. You think,
what I thought was quite cool,
how was I struggling with this so much and now it feels like this?
It feels quite cool because with snowboarding and stuff like that, you're guaranteed a decent ride every time, isn't it? Because I said I always compare it to surfing, where like if you're waiting a while and you go on a wave and other people are riding it, like that would just just drown them. You know what I mean? Just
Even so, like,
take ages to find a decent one. Whereas at least with snowboarding, like you can weave in and out. The next run you go down, it's probably a guaranteed same sort of run.
Yeah.
There might be different people and stuff, but you're still going down, enjoying yourself. Like it's
But
not
even,
waiting
like,
for something.
snowboarding, regardless of what's going to be in front of you, unless there is literally like thousands of people, you're going to go down the hill fine. Even surfing, even if there's nobody in front of you,
Yeah.
if you don't catch that wave at the exact right moment, you don't get it, do you? And then you have to wait another 10 minutes to get another one. Snowboarding, you can just sit and faff about and go down whenever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Obviously, same with skiing as well, obviously.
Well, at least it probably doesn't hurt as much falling in the water though. You're not going to break your finger. I mean, you'd be pretty
I don't
mad
know,
to
do you
break your
remember-
finger
I don't
surfing
know,
like that.
East Buddy ran over me with a surfboard before, haven't you?
Surfboard and snowboard. So I'm
Yeah,
going to run over you with every board.
There's me down at the bottom of the hill, just got down to the bottom, and then there's little old Chiron, not even paying attention to what he's doing.
No.
He just flies down the hill straight towards me. I hear the instructor shouting something. I look behind me, see Chiron about 5 foot from me, and manage to edge myself about a foot.
If you didn't know, just lounge into you.
I'd be on the floor, and because of how you're standing on the snowboard, I'd have probably broken my leg.
Jokes, isn't it?
Jokes. This is what I have to put up with.
That's good. Well, you're the
But-
boss at snowboarding now, so you'll be whacking out
Absolute
backflips and
boss.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think,
more or less done.
yeah, we don't really, until we go on an actual holiday, there's not really much else to say
We'll get
about
like
it.
a load of videos and stuff, I think.
Yeah, we'll, even on the dry slope, whenever we go back up, we'll take some videos and that.
Shoot,
And
music
we'll
video.
upload it to the channel as well. I'll try and put something together. A little like montage of us going down the hill
Yeah.
or something. Just having like shits and giggles on the hill, really, isn't it?
We'll try and shoot a music video as well at some point.
Yeah, but we obviously want to do that out somewhere. It'd be
out
nice
in
to go
Mars.
to like France or Austria
Out in
or
the trees.
somewhere else, out in the Alps.
out in the
Mate, that's what you have to call it, out in the Alps.
down up the mountains. No, I'm just
Good English.
just good.
Good. Right, so yeah, we'll move on.
Yep.
We're on to my joke. I've got one which I find funny, which you probably won't, but you might have heard it.
Okay.
But other people, if you haven't, then feel free to laugh. And then we'll go on to the trampy little ones that I got off an app that I
Okay.
don't know what they are.
I'm
so,
ready. Let's
so there's some fish in a tank. One fish turns to another, and do you know what he says?
go. What?
How'd you drive this thing?
God's sake.
Do you get it? Because
Yeah.
they're in a fish tank, and it's like an army tank. Like, it's even funnier once I've explained
You have
it.
to explain it
Oh
every
my
time,
God.
even if it's so easy to understand.
Some of our listeners might not understand
Oh
it.
yeah,
gotta
fair
make
play.
myself
You've
heard,
got
haven't
to
I?
accommodate for everyone.
Exactly. Right, so we'll do fact first because we've just done a joke. I don't know what this is, so if it's shit, sorry. The University of Oxford is older than the Aztec Empire. The university first opened in 1096, while the Aztec Empire is considered to have originated with the founding of the city of Tenochtitlan.
So we'll say that again.
Tenochtitlan.
Put it in a sentence.
Founding of the city of Tenochtitlan in 1325. So, you know, did you know that?
No. So
Are you
that's-
grateful that you do know that?
Yeah, it's good. So if we go on university challenge, then we can bang out.
If we're ever on the chase, at least we can bang out the facts for Bradley.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mic drop and walk off.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe
What was it
even-
called again? I don't
Maybe
forgot.
even Ben's tipping point we might know.
What was the name of that place again? Tenochtitlan.
Ten Tissue Land.
That's what it was.
Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitl. A with a little line above it. N.
We'll just say it phonetically. It's fine.
Tenochtitlan. There we
Okay.
go. I'll do. Right. So, son, Dad, there's a monster under my bed. Dad, enjoy it while you can, son. When you get married, the monster sleeps in your bed.
Wow, that was a dad joke. That honestly.
That's a depressed dad joke.
Friends with the monster. You'd rather have an ogre, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but it depends what the monster is, because it might be like a
Might be a nice monster.
Monster dildo.
Might be a friendly monster.
don't-
Well, then Boo and Sully, they're friendly monsters.
Yeah, but now imagine like Boo and Sully, but they rape you.
Damn. Shred that
took a
door.
dark turn.
Shred the door. Get out.
Shred the door with the monsters in it. You're stuck forever with the monsters doing things to you.
And we're just going to leave that there, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so...
That's it, is it?
Yeah, so... Quick run through socials.
Right, so we are... find us on all streaming platforms under the Soul Insights podcast. Please leave a rating and review if you want to. All the socials, Twitter, the SI Index, TikTok, Instagram, the Soul Insights Index, YouTube, Soul Insights. So we would, bottom line, recommend checking out snowboarding, possibly skiing as well.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Nah, if you
Recommend
prefer
it.
skiing, yeah, obviously go for one or the other. It's a good little sport to learn. And
Yeah, didn't take too long either, so not too
well,
bad.
no, it's probably taken us about 5 months, but that's 4 months, but that's of us kind of not being able to go too often. It's like once every 3 weeks, isn't it, really? Once every 2 or 3
we can get on
weeks.
it.
Yeah, whenever the sessions are available, really, which it was a bit difficult.
It'd be
to get
different,
on them
obviously,
sometimes.
elsewhere, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So
But obviously, we would always book in sessions where there was 2. Sometimes we'd have sessions where there was 1, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just wait until the next one, sort of thing. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. So.
yeah, definitely.
Right, yeah. So thanks for listening, and
Toodaloo. Are you still recording?
yeah.